Well, how does a living trust actually work in Arizona? Well, there's kind of three big stages if you think about how it's going to work. First stage is putting it all together. You got to have it done. You got to create the documents, get everything funded in there, and you got to have that stuff done, right? That's the first stage. And that's going to take you making the decision to get started, get it put together, get all your finances in order, and actually organize all that stuff. The next stage is if there's a medical emergency, there's some type of we call this stage incapacity. It's kind of nobody wants to think about that, but that's where you need help. Somebody needs help, and maybe you're thinking about your parents, right? Do they need help? That's the stage of life where you need help. And so you're chosen, whoever you picked, maybe it's your spouse, maybe it's a child, steps in and starts helping you manage the bills, take care of payments, investments, tax returns, all that stuff, maybe medical appointments, helping you with that stuff too. That's kind of stage two. And then the last stage is really where, um, after we've passed away, we don't want to even think about that, right? But that's what this whole thing is for, is to make that stage as organized as possible for your family. So, you pick who it is. Maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a child, maybe it's a professional, to be in charge of, making sure everything's gathered, everything's inventoried, everything, all the bills are paid, taxes are paid, and then make sure the distributions happen as smoothly and as quickly as possible without everything being filed in the court on the public record and all the creditors and all the people crawling out of the woodwork, making that stage as simple as possible. Those are really how we look at it and how I see it operate, for the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families that we've seen go through these stages. Now, a regular living trust in that first stage and in that second stage, a typical living trust will not do two things. It will not give you protection from creditors, and it will not protect your money from nursing homes. So you just need to know in those two stages, it doesn't do that. A typical living trust, you need something like bigger, better, than a regular living trust. Now, after you pass away, you can have some things in your living trust that say, when it goes to my kids, my spouse, whoever, I'm giving it to them in a way that their creditors can't get it, that they can't lose it in a bankruptcy, they can't lose it in a divorce, whatever, right? You can give it to them with that protection. But a regular living trust in those first two stages doesn't give you that protection. So I hear a lot of misconceptions, misunderstandings about that. And you definitely want to know if you want protection from creditors and if you want protection from nursing home, very different thing, not just your basic standard living trust.